So how do you actually create a high-ticket coaching package? How do you create something that's premium priced, especially if this is your first premium coaching package? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be covering in this video. So if you want to learn the 5 steps to creating your first successful, profitable coaching package at the high-ticket level, follow me to the other side. Hello coaches, and welcome back to our channel. Before we move on, if you have not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe if you want to learn how to create a profitable coaching business where you are booked out, you are booked solid, you're making sales, you're making more profit, and most importantly, you became a coach because you want to make more impact. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get notifications every time that we create more content. All right, moving on to our topic for today. Today we're going to be talking about how do you actually create your first high-ticket program? How do you create your premier coaching package? It can feel so daunting at the beginning. I remember back when I began my journey, everything about building a coaching business felt kind of hard, right? It felt so foreign. It felt like there were a gazillion things to do. And the reality is that there aren't. There aren't a gazillion things to do. And if you're doing a gazillion things, there's a bunch of videos we've done here about why, the busy but broke coach, like that's not the look you want, that you don't want to just be building, building, building. You actually want to be building the right things at the right time. And we have incredible resources. We have master classes where we talk about what is the roadmap, what to do. So just look at the description and make sure that you look at all of the next steps in terms of how we can continue to support you. But I remember starting as a beginner coach and just feeling like, okay, yes, absolutely. I want to create a high ticket offer. I want to create a premium coaching package. I just have no idea. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know how that's put together. And I felt alone. I felt like I wanted to do this, but I just didn't know where to begin. So if that's you, you can sigh a big sigh of relief. Let the stress go, because we're going to be covering the 5 steps that you need to make sure you hit in order to create your successful first high-ticket offer. We have, at this point, worked with thousands of coaches, and our bread and butter is really making sure that you are putting together an offering as a coach so people go, yes, 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 I want that, right? And with our coaching clients that we work with, one of the things that we love to do the most is look at the offers that they currently have, or it's going to be look at what they want to create in their coaching business and help them really create a high ticket offer. If you guys know anything about us, you know that we really focus, especially for beginner coaches, or if you just don't have a huge audience. So say one of our coaches that came into our practice, he's newer to coaching, but he has an audience of 10,000 people. So his strategy is going to be a little bit different but for the majority of people that we have coming into our programs, they're coming to us having just started. Maybe they're coming from corporate America. They're coming from having been a teacher. They used to be a full-time mom, and now they want to do something different. And they just don't know exactly how to put things together, and they're feeling a little bit lost. And so what we do, because they're starting from scratch, is we guide them exactly on how do you name it? What do you need to do first? How do you price it? How do you position yourself? Colors, like all those things. And all those things are important at the right time. So let's begin with our 5 steps, shall we? Step number 1 is going to be knowing your audience. It is so important for you to know who you are working with. We just launched a really powerful online course no, it's not thousands of dollars. No, it's not hundreds of dollars. It's actually $7, which is wild. You can find it below in the description. I totally encourage you to sign up for that, because that will guide you through a lot of the pieces that we're going to be covering here today. So finding your audience. There is this, I think, harmful belief out there that coaches have of like, I'm going to start with the what and not with the who. we can't do that. If you start with the what and not with the who, it's going to make it harder for you to fill up your coaching business, for you to make sales, and for you to be able to make an impact. We need to really begin with the who and not the what. And when we begin with the who and working with our clients, sometimes it's this rethinking, this paradigm shift that needs to happen in your brain, right? As someone who's coming into coaching, not just like being a coach, but being a coach who has a business, and your primary role, if you're doing this as a business and not as a hobby, is to grow a business. And so there's this shift that needs to happen in terms of it's not really about the thing that I'm creating, but it's really about the who that I'm serving. And so I want you guys to be thinking about who is it that you're serving. And we're going to need to ask a few questions to make sure that profitability is at play from the beginning of your business. You need to make sure we have a really powerful framework that is called USGA. You may have heard about it before. I really encourage you to watch any USGA trainings that we have here or anywhere that you have found us. So USGA stands for urgency, specificness, finding an identifiable group. So the G is the group that gathers on the internet, or basically the internet. Yes, you can do in-person coaching, but we want you to have the ability to be fully booked out and to be fully scalable, where you have the ability to serve hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of clients at a time. And if you're just focused on the, in-person, that will less be the case, if that's something that you're interested in doing. And it's so much easier to find clients online. So we specifically say, identifiable group that gathers online in the, thousands, really tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of people that you have access to and you can access in some way. Then A is for ability and W is for willingness. So USGA is USGAW. And that is going to allow you to know if you have a problem that is going to be profitable. And we need to start with profitability when we're creating our coaching packages. So you're going to start with the who, and maybe you have, sorry, this is bothering me here. Real life right here. Okay, so you might have one group of people, like one of our coaching clients, she is a doula, right? So she works with moms who are first-time moms and they're expecting, and she helps coach them through the entire process of getting really comfortable with giving birth, and sometimes she's actually supporting them hands-on with the process, but so she's making a more scalable business through the work that she's doing with us. And with her, when she came into our coaching programs, it was super clear. It's I'm working with moms, right? I'm working with first-time moms or with women who want to have a specific experience as they are giving birth. And so super clear, done, right? And she just told us she's had her best month ever. She's making more sales than ever before, and she's just having a blast. So you can do that. Having an audience who who you understand the experiences and you have some sort of expertise there, it's going to be the easiest. We want these things to be easy for you. That's going to be the easiest way. The other way to do this is there's something that you really, really care about, and you potentially could work with various groups of people, right? So say one of our clients, he was in, personal training. And so as a personal trainer, you can work with literally everybody. But when you work with everybody, it just makes it so hard. And especially if you're going to be working online, having a niche, right? This is where the niche comes in, is really going to help you be profitable, especially at the beginning. What we tell our clients is maybe you're not going to stay working with that niche forever and ever and ever. You're just going to be the coach who helps this very specific group of people. But for your profitability's sake, at the beginning, we do want you to choose a niche, right? So you want to find a specific group of people that you can serve. And the way to know, is this a good group, is going to be, can I serve them? Right now, knowing what I know and having had the experiences that I've had, can I actually help them? Can I guide them, right? Can I get them to where they're trying to go? So that's number one. Two is really, really important. Are there enough of them? And three is, do they have the ability to pay, right? So we want to make sure that those things are true for the audience that we choose. You might need to, with one of our clients that we worked with, she was potentially working with musicians, or she was going to be working with just like general like mindset. And eventually she decided on the musicians because she has 30 plus years of experience working with them. And so you get to decide based on some of the number of factors that I've named here, what's going to be the best audience for you. But you really have to choose an audience. So that is number one. Number two is market research. We in the coaching world, there's just not enough tracking and data and hard numbers and making decisions based on the data that we have out there, right? And I really think that hurts the coaching industry. We as, this is what we're doing, and this is what we feel so passionately about. And the coaching space is a space that's really growing. We want to really bring more professionalism and hard numbers and data and tracking and metrics into the world of coaching. And that also comes into, do you guys see how we haven't actually started creating the coaching package? Like, we're not building anything. Do you, and I'm gonna like jump in with a little point here. Are you watching this video because you just want to have a coaching package? Or are you here because you want to have a coaching package that sells like crazy, right? You're probably here because you don't just want to feel really good about yourself and be like, pat on the back, I'll have a coaching package, and woohoo! I don't care if I make sales, but I have a coaching. That's probably not you, right? You're probably here because you're like, yeah, I want to learn how to create a coaching package so I can make sales and I can bring on more clients. So given that, profitability comes before. I want you to write this down, put it on your wall. Profitability comes before you build anything, before you build your website, before you create a podcast, before you create lead magnets, before you even think about ads, before funnels, before any of that. We need to validate profitability, which is something, if you're one of our clients, you've heard this before and you keep hearing it from us. And if you're not one of our clients yet, we would love to support you. You can find out how to work with us. Love to support you. But we will still tell you that profitability must come first if you're not just doing this as a hobby, but you're actually doing this as a business. And how is it that we make sure that we're going to be profitable in our coaching business? Market research. There are very simple ways for you to, now that you know who you're going to be serving, then you're going to be looking at, okay, what sort of problems does my audience have? And who has won before? So here's some misconception about competition. Competition, people think that if there's competition in your space, that's like a bad thing. No, if there is no competition in your space, you're like the only coach for turtles who want to learn how to play video games. Okay, there's a lot of turtles, but how many turtles that want to or know how to use a computer, right? Like, it doesn't matter that you're the only one. And actually, that's going to make it so much harder. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's going to be so much harder. So you want to make sure that you do market research. And again, here I'm going to invite you guys to join our $7 course, mini course, where we walk you through how to do this, what to ask, how to, the actual process. So market research, you need to know who's winning. Are there winners? Is there a competitive market? Yay. How do I stand out in that competitive market? All right, step number 3. You need to create a program. Now that we know we're going to be profitable, now that we know who we're serving, right? So who, the audience, then market research. We are sure that we're going to make money. Then we actually start building. We don't touch anything that has to do with any building until we know that we're going to be profitable. And then when you actually start touching the building stuff, the touching of the building, it has to follow the right order, okay? You have to be following the right roadmap. And we have the 7 steps of profitability. Definitely encourage you to watch one of those trainings. You're gonna find it somewhere in the description below, so you can make sure that you understand the roadmap to profitability for coaches. All right, so now that we are in the building phase, yay! The first thing that you're going to build is going to be an understanding of how you stand out in the industry, right? So we want you to be the authority in your industry. We want you to be the coach that people go to. And to do that, you need to understand your market, which we did in step 2, that's market research. And then you need to understand, well, what makes you unique? What makes you stand out? Why is someone going to decide to work with you versus to work with them? And this is where this is actually really cool, because it's so much easier than you think. You might have trainings, you might have experiences in the space, you might have an understanding of the things that you want to teach, right? So what we guide you to do here is to actually have a proper understanding, not just of what you want to create. Again, one of the things that we talk about is NAY, and NAY stands for not about you. And so it's not about you. You're not creating a program for you, you're creating a program for them. So we need to create a coaching program around the results that they are after. So you need to understand what we call the FARO. And the FARO is just like the language, the internal language that they are going to, that they use, and you need to master their internal world, their fears, their aspirations, their results, their obstacles, the things that keep them up at night, the things that they will work so hard for. You need to understand that. And that will inform the program that you're creating, because you're going to create a program that at the result, right at the end of it, they're going to get something that they want. You can create something that you think you should create. You can sell someone broccoli, but they're like, I just want to lose weight while having fun, right? And you're like, but broccoli is going to be the thing that's going to get you there. And it's like, I don't care what's going to get me. I just want to get there as quickly as possible, as cheaply as possible, and having as much fun as possible. So you keep talking about this thing, you're trying to sell me your program. We need to make sure that we understand the results they are after. That's going to be super key in terms of the program that you're creating. So we need to know the results, and we need to create a program that actually, again, back to profitability, that people will actually want to buy. Not just a program you want to create, but a program that people will go like, yes, I need that program. How do I pay you ASAP? So that's step number 3. Now, moving on to step number 4. In step number 4, you now have your coaching program. So you understand, are you doing one-on-one? Are you doing group coaching? How much of this, how much of that do you have? How much support are you giving them? How many tiers? How did you position yourself? All of that has been covered in the last step. Again, encourage you to do additional trainings. We can't have these be forever and ever. Step number 4 is going to be your branding and positioning yourself really powerfully. So let's talk about branding. This is probably my favorite thing to talk about. So Matt and I run this business together. Matt is the sales guy, and I am really the brander. I work with our clients to make sure that your stuff looks amazing. Right? So we have a lot of clients who come to us with their offers, with their packages, with their websites, with, how their cover looks on Facebook, with their, how their cover looks on, YouTube or podcast or whatever it is. It'll be like, ooh, that's going to hurt your sales. Bad branding will actually hurt your sales. But not having an offer will totally kill your sales, and not having sales will kill your sales more than branding. So too many people give way too much attention to branding at the wrong time. There is a right time and a right place for branding. So make sure that you know that you're actually implementing branding at the right time. But when you get there, let's talk about one of our clients. So this client is already making 6 figures, probably getting to multiple 6 figures at this point. And when he came to us, I looked at his branding and I was like, oof, you're leaving a lot of money on the table because of your branding. And so we reworked his offers, started making more money immediately, started closing more immediately. We worked on his branding, we worked on his colors, because if you're using the wrong colors, that's going to hurt your conversions. If you're using the wrong fonts, that's going to hurt your conversions, right? If your stuff looks yucky, if it looks like there was no effort, there was no thought that went into it, branding makes you feel things. And if what someone sees when they look at your branding is disappointment, or they're like, oh, this person, the professionalism is not there, that will absolutely hurt your sales. So again, step number 4, it's not step number 1, it's not step number 2. People focus on the branding and on the positioning and the marketing way too early. You have to make sure that you're branding something that will actually sell. You have to make sure that you're marketing something that sells. And yes, the marketing and how you look absolutely matters. And you can be leaving tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. If you're not doing it correctly, just make sure that you're doing it at the right time. And finally, step number 5, you want to create a sales system that works. So you have identified your audience, you have done market research, you have created your offers, you have branded yourself powerfully, and now your focus is to sell, 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 sell. But you don't just want to, you have probably heard me talk about hope strategy. You don't want to just like hope it works, hope you make sales. You need to have systems, you need to have metrics. We have metrics for our clients where we tell them like, this is how many conversations you need to have having a day. This is, you need to understand your conversions from conversations to triage calls to sales calls. You need to know your sales calls conversions. You need to know, like there's so many numbers and systems that need to be built around sales that it's really important for you to not be haphazard when it comes to your sales. So rather than just doing sales, we want you to have a sales system. So you need to know your numbers, your metrics, you need to be tracking, you need to know how many people do you need to be, reaching out to every single day. Are you reaching out to them on LinkedIn? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram? Are you creating content on YouTube? Are you creating content on podcasts? Like what's your strategy there? Are you repurposing? How are you repurposing? And at the end of the day, what matters the most is how many conversations around sales are you having? And there's 2 ways to do sales. You can do sales one-on-one where you're just selling on the phone. And depending on your offers and the pricing of your offers, there's going to be a different sales vehicle that's going to empower each of these vehicles for sales. So again, one is going to be more one-on-one, and then the other one is going to be a leverage sale. So leverage sales are going to be more mid-ticket to low-ticket. And this is where you have, your courses that sell themselves. You have, you're selling on a webinar, you're selling, and these things are more strategic. They're more advanced. You should probably not be doing this as the first thing that you do because there's a lot of things here that you can be doing that will definitely hurt you. So for most of you, you're going to be selling on the phone. You're going to be selling one-on-one. Get really, really good at that. That's a really powerful strategy. Get your business to a place where you're bringing in anywhere from 5K to 10K a month. And then eventually you want to start moving over into these more advanced strategies and make sure that you're doing that through a system. All right, guys, so there you have it, the 5 steps to building your first ever coaching package at a high ticket level. Let me know how it goes. Please send us your offers. Send us, I'd love to see your pricing. I'd love to see your branding. I'd love to see what it is that you're working on. Send us your questions. We'll create more content based on the questions that you have. Follow us, subscribe here on YouTube. We have an incredible newsletter where we talk about all of the tips and tricks and sales making strategies that you need to be following for filling up your coaching practice. So make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. We have a boot camp. You can go to highticketclientonline.com. You can sign up for our boot camp. We have a live webinar trainings. We have so many resources on our website. We have the $7 how to build packages that sell like crazy course, which is absolutely insane and bananas, and you should definitely sign up for it yesterday because it's so good. It's gonna blow your mind. And we can't wait for you to take it. So keep on watching our content. We are here for you. We are committed to your business coach. We're committed to your development. We are so excited that you are part of our community. We are here to serve you. And remember, we are highticketclientonline.com, and we are here to make sure that we give you the tools, the training, so you can fill up your practice, so you can make more sales and you can make more of an impact. I will see you guys again soon.